Texting. 856-875-309. Was that the broad's name? Was that the broad's number? We still know who the broad's name was. Anyway, segment 2, back here in a very hostile mid-sack. I am flying solo tonight. Hopefully the redoubtable one returns on Wednesday. I think Joel's coming with him. Segment 2, NFL draft recap, Patriots NFL draft recap. I hope you brought your vomit bags. Yeah. Let's go over the Patriots draft needs. Number 1, wide receiver. Number 2, left tackle. Number 3, cornerback. Well, we addressed that with our first fucking pick, and we traded 3 spots back to do it to gain a 4th. Look, I understand that Devin McCourty is retired. I understand we lost another corner to whoever we let them go to. So what does this mean? We're going to draft this guy, and then in 4 years when Hicks is going to let him go too? I mean, that's what Bill Belichick. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about a 6'1" corner? So you know what that means? That means now we're going to lose 26-17, or 28-14, or 31-21, or whatever, because we don't have a home run hitter and we don't have a left tackle to protect the quarterback that Bill Belichick drafted. I'm getting sick and tired. And look, this kid may be a heck of a player. I'm not saying he won't be. But the number 1 need on this team was not cornerback. It was wide receiver. They have not had a number 1 since Randy Moss. I don't count Julian Edelman. Not because he wasn't a great player. He was. Okay, but that was a diamond in the rough. He was a 7th round pick who was a quarterback. That's called lucky, boys and girls. That was luck. Okay, if you want to consider him a number 1 receiver from the slot, all right, like the cheater, I guess you can compare him to the cheater. The cheater's faster, but Edelman probably has better hands. But the cheater's faster. But Edelman's fast. But they don't have a guy like either of those two, really. They don't have they've got a lot of tall receivers. Now look, Tyquan Thornton, the Baylor burner as I call him, who they drafted last year, and we didn't get a fair look at him because Matt Patricia, Joe Mazzulla, fuck it, whatever. Well, I love these coaches we have. They're all fucking morons. Obviously had no clue how to use a 6'2.5" man who can run a 4.2 40. And I have to say that again. He's been in the NFL. How long has Matt Patricia been in the NFL? I don't know. But he had no idea, apparently, how to use a 6'2.5" man who can run a 4.2 40. There are about 5 or 6 guys in that league that can run that speed, maybe even less. He's one of them. And we saw bubble screens and 10-yard and in patterns from a guy who is 6'2.5" and runs a 4.2 40. All fucking season long. And this genius of a coach who was on the sideline all fucking season long did nothing about it. Now, I know he got hurt and he missed a few games, feel like a month, but he was back for the second part of the season. And still, all 10-yard in, bubble screen. 10-yard out, bubble screen. In the red zone, he caught a touchdown. Where the fuck was he on 1st and 10 or 2nd and 5 from the 40? Where the fuck was the go route? Where the fuck was the post to the pylon? Where the fuck was all that with a 6'2.5", 4.2 40 speed athlete? Now, if O'Brien, who I would think is going to do, if they're banking on this, okay, all right, I'll be fair. I'll give Bill a chance to turn this kid into the player that I thought he could be. Okay, but I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know if the kid can stay healthy. What I do know is that there were 3 incredibly, and I keep going back to 3 years ago, 4 years ago, Tom Brady's last year, when they drafted N'Keal Harry over DK fucking Metcalf, Debo fucking Samuel, and AJ fucking Brown. And I would double dog dare, I would triple dog dare you Belichick scrotum scrubbing ass clowns to go look up the stats of those three men. And look me in the eye and tell me again how Bill Belichick should get a pass for that. Because that draft was the end of Tom Brady in New England. And he still is getting a pass for this. And then in this draft, if you look at the draft recap, and who went right after we picked this cornerback from, where was he from? From Oregon, Christian Gonzalez. If you look at what happened right after that, 3 picks later, number 20 to Seattle, who, by the way, has DK Metcalf and was in the playoffs last year. Jackson Smith-Njigba, Ohio State wide receiver. Right after that, 2021, Quentin Johnson, wide receiver, TCU. He was in the national title game. You may have heard of him. San Diego, or rather LA Chargers, also a playoff team. That's 2 playoff teams in a row that went out and knew what they were looking at. And then, the creme de la creme, the one that also got floated around. Baltimore Ravens, also a playoff team, also just signed Odell Beckham Jr. So they have a number 1, right? What do? With their first pick, they draft wide receiver Zay Flowers out of Boston College. Why is it that playoff teams who have number 1 receivers, because if you think about it, Seattle has DK Metcalf, who we should have drafted. Baltimore, Keenan Allen and Williams on the other side. They got 2 guys. They drafted the playoff team. Zay Flowers, Baltimore. They just got Odell Beckham Jr. Why are these teams doubling down and getting more of them, and we can't get one? And they're in the playoffs, and we're not. And 2 of those 3 teams are in a very, 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 very loaded AFC. But this one corner out of Oregon is going to fix all that. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, you could have got a corner from Georgia in the 3rd or 4th round when you had all those fucking picks. I think the Georgia kid, by the way, SEC, 2-time national champion, sees some offenses, sees some pro-level receiving talent. The kid from Georgia was there. We could have got him in the 3rd, 4th round. Why can't you get him as a cornerback? So, I don't get it. Okay, again, trying to be fair. I don't know why this man has earned the right for me to be fair after all the shit he's done in the past 3 years, starting with Tom Brady's departure, which ended the Patriots dynasty, when Tom Brady wasn't done for the 1 millionth time. And in 3 years, Tom Brady has more playoff wins than Bill Belichick has in 30. And with Bruce Arians, I might add, as his coach, who's a bumbling boob. No risky, no biscuit. That fucked hard. Okay? But Tom Brady has 5 playoff wins. Bill has 2. Well, no, sorry, he has 1. Without Tom, 1. Okay? So, and yet, the Pats now, again,
Here's what I found.
The draft grades, and I have them for you so you can, I'm being fair here. For Gonzalez, I'll give you the recap of all of their picks. So they had Gonzalez 1, he got an A. The edge rusher from Georgia Tech, Keyron, who a lot of people are high on, he got a C minus. So they're the Boston blowhards up there who are working for the Patriots and have to say something nice about him aren't the majority on this. They're in the minority in terms of how good he is. He got a C minus. The kid Marte Mapu from Sacramento State, that football powerhouse, who I've been making fun of since I heard his name, he got a B minus, I'm sorry. Linebacker from Troy, another football powerhouse. What was his name? Jake Andrews got a B. Kicker. We drafted a kicker before receivers. What does that tell you about where they think we're at here in terms of what could help them? Actually, this is the one thing I think, what's his name, got right. The reporter for Boston there, for the Patriots, the beat writer there, who wrote a story on this just the other day about how he thinks the Patriots didn't have a lot of faith in the later rounds of this draft. Well, if that's true, Why'd they go get another 4th-round pick if they didn't believe in the talent at that level? Why wouldn't you have stayed where you were, take the fucking Jigma, and get the most talented players at those positions and call it a day? Get impact players. And again, this kid, Gonzalez, is probably going to start. He's going to have to. Okay? Because Belichick has to justify this somehow. Or maybe he helps them in the secondary. Is he going to win you games? Nope. He's not. Okay? This is a passing league. It's an offensive league. The rules are the table is tilted overwhelmingly in the favor of the offense. Why, for the love of Christ, are we not loading up on top flight, best available offensive player at those positions? You can back end your defense. If he is the great coach, again, this is another example of why he's not a great coach. Because if he was a great coach, then couldn't he coach up lesser talent on defense and make them perform at just a serviceable level? And load up the offense so you can tilt the table, but you can fight fire with fire. Aaron Rodgers is now in this division for the team that this guy hates. The Miami Dolphins playoff team, Tua, the Cheetah, Waddle. They drafted a running back. Loaded, Buffalo. Defended in the last 2 divisions. What the fuck is this man thinking? And how are you setting your quarterback up for success unless he does? If he doesn't have, I said this last year, I'll say it again. If he doesn't have a number 1 receiver, you can't evaluate him. It's not fair. You look at every quarterback before they got a number 1 in this league and when they got one. Look at the difference. It's night and fucking day. Mac Jones, until further notice, does not have a number 1 receiver. Now, if it turns out to be Tyquan Thornton, which I hope, because I think that kid has enormous potential. Okay, fine. If he ends up being, if Tyquan Thornton makes the Pro Bowl next year, I'll shut the fuck up. Okay? Any one of those fucking receivers makes the Pro Bowl next year as a receiver and not an alternate. No. I'll shut the fuck up. But until I see that, I'm not letting him off the hook for this. Not in this division, not with these quarterbacks who have much more ammunition. I don't want to hear about, well, he's got a solid cast. Fuck the solid cast. The solid cast means something if Tom Brady's your quarterback. Tom Brady can win a Super Bowl with a solid cast. Mac Jones ain't Tom Brady. And here's this fucking zippy zappy zoopy zero. What the fuck is that clown? He ain't no Tom Brady either. Knock it off. Chicago picked him off twice. Chicago sucks. And they picked him off twice when he came in the game. So shut the fuck up with Zappy, you Bailey Zappy zipperheads. He got picked off twice by the worst defense in the league, and they had no tape on him. Shut the fuck up, Bailey Zappy. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Unbelievable. Fucking stupid. If you couldn't let the Chicago Bears, who were the worst team in the league, he's not that fucking good. Okay? Mac Jones was coming off a fucking broken injury, so I get why he wasn't 100% that night. But to turn out to set this stupid QB competition up with self-inflicted wounds by the savant who created that whole fucking problem, okay? Then he does the audacity to get mad at Mac Jones for fucking looking for help again. Fuck that. Anyway, this draft here, when you look at this, I'm sorry, I stopped at the kicker, who was their second pick in the 4th round. F, of course, F. Why the fuck are you drafting a kicker in the 4th round when you're so devoid of weapons on offense? Proven weapons. Proven. When I mean proven, I mean Pro Bowls and Super Bowls. I don't see one on this roster. So they're not proven to me. I don't hear about one guy who had a 1,000-yard receiving year 3 years ago. Juju Smith-Schuster is the only one that fits the bill. Is he really a number 1? At best, he's a 2. And he could be a good one if you got a real number 1 next to him, which we still don't have. But other than him, it's devoid of that. Okay? So then you go from the kicker, Chad Ryland from Maryland, another powerhouse football school in Maryland. Sorry, DJ. Then you got City So, inside linebacker from East Michigan, another football powerhouse, East Michigan. They gave him an A for that one. Hope he's the diamond in the rough. Another inside linebacker from UCLA, Antonio Maffei, C-. Then the first receiver in the 6th round, they take a malcontent from LSU, Keyshawn Butte, who they gave him a B+ for that because he would be a steal. He had first-round capability, but then he got hurt, and he got out of favor with the coaching staff or whatever he did. But he had a 300-yard game in the SEC. That, I guess, counts for something. So he's maybe the one hope Then they have a punter. They drafted a punter. Gave him a beat for Michigan State. At least I've heard of Michigan State. Then they got their second wide receiver, this kid Demario Douglas, who they consider a Troy Brown like from Liberty. Troy Brown, really? Don't put some kid from Liberty in the same sense with Troy fucking Brown. That's fucking, don't even out of those words. I don't care if Troy Brown is the receiver coach. No. Until I see him win a Super Bowl and make a clutch catch over the middle on a game-winning drive, then we'll start talking about Troy Brown. Until then, shut the fuck up. No. Small and quick doesn't make you Troy Brown. A lot of people that are small and quick, none of them are Troy Brown. Look at that crap. Then you go to, they have back-to-back cornerbacks. Amir Speed. His last name is Speed. Well, he got a D+. So clearly he's not that fast. And they close with Isaiah Bolden. Jackson State. Ooh. Dion. Ooh, the one guy, they gave him a C+. Sexy, isn't it? I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to need a cigarette after reading that list. Give me a fucking break. Fucking break. At the top, they mixed him around. O-tackle, tight end. Didn't draft a tight end. Receiver. They brought in the kid from Miami, who I think can be good. But, again, a lot of B and C level talent. Unless Tyquan Thornton and this kid from LSU is a steal, which they think he could be. That's a big if. That's a big reach in the 6th round. Tom Brady's only fall out of the sky once. Julian Edelman's, that was what, 10 years later? Once. Every 10 years you might get a guy like that. I don't know if this kid's it. So that's where they're at. They've done nothing to tell me from the draft that they are not in last place in the AFC East right now. They are in last place. Okay, and I think their offense will be better because it couldn't be any fucking worse. But the Jets are better. The Dolphins are better. The Bills are better. To me, you're not closing the gap. So unless DeAndre Hopkins is on the menu, how do you close that gap? Okay? This motherfucker better hope that Tyquan Thornton is everything that I am praying he is. Because if he's not, they're in last place, and Bill Belichick needs to retire. I'm done with this fucking. Let's trade down 3 spots and let's ignore what's right in front of us, because they could have got the left tackle there too. There was a ton of good linemen at that spot at 14. You didn't have to trade down. And this is the problem with it's Tommy Curran is the guy that I was referring to earlier, the beat writer for the Patriots up in Boston. If the Patriots were so not in love with this deep second, third day level talent in the draft, why did they acquire an extra pick for it? I mean, there were other teams, according to Mr. Curran, that didn't want to trade. That did like, no, they didn't want extra picks. So apparently, a lot of GMs were not enamored with the talent on the second and third day. Why was Bill? Or if Bill wasn't, why was Bill acquiring extra picks? For what? There's nothing there. Again, it's not quantity, it's quality. I would rather Bill gets 2 home run hitters out of this draft and nothing else than get a bunch of special teams players and third down players and specialists, which, okay, it fills out your roster. Does it move the needle? Make you a contender? No, it doesn't. But a Smith-Jigba from Ohio State, or the kid from TCU, or the kid from or the tight end from Notre Dame, who the Raiders, by the way, got in the 2nd round, those guys move the needle, potentially. And here we are, drafting cornerbacks from the Pac-10. Start with the Pac-10. Okay? Drafting linebackers from Troy, and Liberty, and Sacramento fucking State. And I'm supposed to get excited about this? I don't give a fuck what these draft boards say. None of that moves the fucking needle. None of it. You put a lot of pressure on Bill O'Brien here. And again, you're setting Mac Jones up for failure. Again. And again, they're going to be better because they can't be any fucking worse. How much better are they going to be? Is Bill O'Brien alone going to put you in a playoff spot in a now deeper AFC with Aaron Rodgers in it? The Jets didn't make the playoffs last year. They missed it by 1 game. Just like they added Aaron fucking Rodgers. We added Bill O'Brien. Now, I'm no Aaron Rodgers guy. But do you really think that's an even swap? Aaron Rodgers, Bill O'Brien. One guy didn't even play. The Jets, if they had anything resembling an NFL quarterback last year, would have made the fucking playoffs. And now they have a first ballot Hall of Famer who's got weapons. He's got a number one receiver. He got a guy who last year as a rookie, broke Keyshawn Johnson's record. As a rookie, 1,000 yards. They already got him. They brought over Lazard from Tennessee. Two guy he knows. The running back, Breece Hall, who was leading the NFL in rushing before he got hurt, back. He's got weapons. Real ones. We got some nice, this guy's kind of nice, and he's solid. Nice and solid. That's what I keep hearing. Nice and solid. I don't hear great. I don't hear holy shit. I don't hear, man, you got to account for. I don't hear none of that. I hear none of that. But Bill O'Brien alone is going to offset the addition of Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to wait on that one because I'm not going to believe that bullshit until I actually see it. Okay? But I will tell you this right now. Now, again, can he still pick up a guy? Yeah. In June, they're going to have people going to get dropped because of money reasons. There might be a guy out there. The DeAndre Hopkins trade maybe you can do that because to me, that's the thing you got to do. You fucked the draft up again. You better go get him. And I think I think he's 31 years old. So he's still, they got Randy Moss at 31 and got 3 productive years out of him. I don't know off the top of my head if I look at the Arizona, he's currently an Arizona Cardinal. If I look at that roster, DeAndre Hopkins where is he? Just had him. He's 30 years old. So on June 6th, he'll be 31. So he's 30. He's 6'1", 212. Last year, and he missed how many games last year? I don't know, but he missed for the suspension. I think he missed 5. He had 700 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he missed 5 or 6 games. 64 catches. He is a legitimate number one, and he's 31. He's in his prime. So you can get 3 years out of him in this offense if you want to spread the ball around. Go get him. If Bill Belichick goes and gets him, all right, I'll back off. All right, you know what? He added this guy. Okay, fine. That, to me, would be doing something. If DeAndre Hopkins is not wearing Patriot colors come August, or they don't pick up a guy that gets dropped because of luck cap reasons, a receiver who's a 1,000-yard proven guy, who's a veteran, if they don't get that dude, okay, because they didn't draft the talent out of college, they didn't go get that guy again, then don't talk to me about anything other than 4th place in the AFC East. Again. Because that's where they're going to be. Okay? Because Bill O'Brien is not going to offset Aaron Rodgers by himself. He is not. Okay? And again, the division's going to beat each other up. The division, they might all 10-9, they should kick the crap out of each other because it's a balanced division. The Patriots have a top 10 defense. So they've got Mac Jones. They're going to be competitive. I don't care about competitive. Okay? I want a legit Super Bowl contender. You let Tom Brady walk because you thought he was done. You were dead wrong. You'll never admit it. You turned around and said he got a better offer. You didn't give him an offer. I don't care what anyone says. You never gave him an offer. You never told him, we're going to get this guy. We're going to drive. You never did that. You were shocked when he left. Okay? And I've heard that from everybody. Belichick was surprised he left. Yeah, you didn't give him an offer. Because if you had, and he didn't like it, you wouldn't be surprised that he left. You just said, we got a better offer. What offer did you give him? No one's asking you about that. No one's asking why you didn't take over the offense last year if you're the greatest coach that ever lived. Why would you leave it up to to Boner and Biff to run it into the ground? No one's questioning you on that. You're just saying it was a bad move. Why wasn't Bill Belichick running the offense last year? He gets Bill O'Brien here, okay, fine. That's going to help there. Now we're going to do in terms of talent. Offensive, blue chip, scare the fucking shit out of the defense talent when the guy steps in the field. Where is that guy or guys? Because they don't gut him right now. And they're in a division that is loaded with him. Okay? So that's my take on this draft. It's a wait and see. Right now, I give it a D. A D. And I'm being nice, okay? I'm being nice because they're probably going to get it. That kid's going to start. That kid, that cornerback who might be good, if they get a starter, I'll give him a D. That's the reason I'm not flunking him. If that kid turns out to be a bust, then it's obviously an F. But I'm giving him a D- right now, a D- for that because they didn't address it. Still no left tackle, still no number one receiver. Until I see those two things, that's a D right there. So we'll see what he does. Anyway, that's the end of segment 2. There's not going to be a segment 3 tonight because the Red Sox, for everything they have done, I mean, if we're going to be fair, the Red Sox are not in last place. The Red Sox are 16-14. They are 7.5 out. Tampa's got the best record in baseball. They beat Toronto, who's ahead of them. Tonight, Baltimore's ahead of them. The Yankees are the worst team in the American League East at 15-15. They've lost 4 in a row. Red Sox have won 3 in a row, 6 out of last 10. Red Sox are playing pretty good. So I'm wearing their stuff tonight. They're playing good. I'm going to be fair. I've trashed them forever. They're actually not in the cellar. This could change tomorrow. But for today, there's a shirt up there. The hat's on. Because I'm so pissed at everybody else in Boston right now. I have to find some positive here. The Red Sox are not in the cellar. There's your positive for tonight. Red Sox 16-14. I think they win 16 games till July 4th. So they're better than I thought they would be. Oh boy. But they're above 500. They're not down 1-0 after losing at home to a team missing its best player. Okay? Or a hockey team that broke every record in the book and is now golfing. So they're not there. But in any event, I blew off some steam tonight. I had to. I hope you did too. If you want to be mad at me, be mad at me. Actually, don't be mad at me. I didn't do any of this shit. I'm just reacting to it. But if you think I'm overblown, just go back and watch the tape of the Bruins over the past 12 years since they won the Cup and how many times they've pissed away or lost to an inferior opponent. Or the Celtics just the past 2. There's a slew of tape. Pick any one of them you like, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'll return on Wednesday night. Hopefully Joel and Thomas will be with me. Hope they had a great weekend, a better one than I had. In closing, once again, Marge McCosh, Godspeed. Thank you for everything. Love you. And to the McCosh family, I love all you guys, and we will get through this. But until Wednesday, boys and girls, you enjoy, if you can, the next 48 hours, and we will see you on the other side.